Step in to the Outside In, episode 02. I'm your innkeep, EI Werner, and we're going to ease in this morning. As it is quite early. This is our first one of these that is not the launch stream with all that hype, so we're always going to be starting with just a little clickety-clack of the keyboard and a welcome from me. So please holler out in the chat if you are here and you are up early with us. I'd love to see that. And without further ado, let's jump into today. So, in these early morning streams, we are going to try to use our time effectively. And we're going to start off by doing some quick announcements here, some great announcements. And this is a writing stream, so you'll see we try to write everything down that we're talking about, kind of like a meeting that we're all joining together. So our first announcement is, let's say, step in. So the launch stream was a huge success last week, Tuesday morning, exactly a week before today. So many people showed up to support throughout the day, and that was really the point of that 7 hours. Was also just to fill the time and feel comfortable on camera and show people what we're trying to build here together. And it was just an absolutely inspiring success. So that's announcement one. We can turn it up. Inspiring success. And what it's inspired me to feel is that if I stay consistent and optimistic and clever, that we've got something here and that we can really make something really awesome. And I was just, because I love doing it and because it felt fun and it felt like for the right person, it could be a really great space. And that person includes me because I love it too. Hey, if anyone's in the chat, go ahead and send any sort of message, a hi, something like that. I would like to see a test that it's working. I ran a million tests to get the Twitch streaming running today, but that could be our second announcement. That'll be our third announcement. The second announcement is Between Places. Let's talk about it. So that's the title of today's stream, obviously. And the reason being that the Outside In is a destination between where we've been and where we dream of going. And it's a place for us it's a destination between those places, a place for us to look forward to going to. And today is the first day we can say that we are between where we've been and where we're going. Where we've been is episode 01. Between where we've been and where we're going. I don't like the numbers. We're going to bullets. Between where we've been. Okay, so between where we've been, just cleaning it up for us. We're making a nice document for us to reference for the rest of the day. As people join, they'll be able to kind of see up exactly what we've been up to. I'm going to send a test on YouTube just to ensure. Just make sure that everything's showing up right. Could be no one's in here. It works. Okay, we're in business, so nobody's in here. That's totally chill. We're just writing. Between places, between where we've been, E01, and where we say E52 here because we're looking at July 7th, 2027. That's the goal, the biggest goal I can control. I can't control how good I am at this. I can't control how clever I am, but I can control whether or not I stream 52 times every week from July 7th, 2026 to July 7th, 2027. And when I do, I'm throwing a banger. I don't know exactly what, but you're invited. So we can even say July 7th. Okay, so the next announcement is that today is sponsored by our Outside In community on Telegram. I'll type it out and then we'll talk about it. I'm a writer first, so I think that'll actually help me. And this is a writing stream, and settle into your own work, whatever you're working on. You'll see us just working for the next couple hours here early in the morning before work. That's the game. Let me take a sip of my cold brew. I went out super early before a lot of the coffee shops were even open, so I got Starbucks. Part of me still loves Starbucks occasionally when it's the right time. When I have an excuse to drink it, I kind of still love it. All right. So this is sponsored by the Outside In Telegram community on Telegram. You can find the description down below, but you get 60 active group chat with me, with EIW, let's say, daily insight voice notes, astrophysics, this is a lot of examples to give. We can narrow it down in a sec. So we are, this is sponsored by the Outside In community on Telegram. This is where if you want a little bit more of what it is that we're up for, don't make the decision until we finish today, our stream. See if you like it. And you don't even have to decide today. You can decide in 6 weeks, 10 weeks, doesn't matter. You can join us whenever it feels right for you, but there is a community of us on Discord where you get a daily insight from me. It's a 60-second voice note. It's a 60-second voice note about astrophysics, philosophy, theology, literature, mythology, etc. Okay. That is that announcement. What else do I have on my agenda? Sorry, I just gotta get some things. You should see, for those of who are in the last stream, there was a bit of feedback that the chats weren't coming in quite fast enough. You should see a huge improvement in that. So if anybody is in the chat, shoot a holler. Let me know how fast that went. Now that we're streaming to both Twitch and YouTube, there is another band in between them before the data is delivered, but all good. So chats should be delivered faster. Wonder if next time might be the announcements I should type out earlier, but I kind of like that it's a writing stream and we kind of discussed me while going through it. It's kind of nice, actually. Be taking notes live, so let's keep it. You can see the whole story. Chat should be delivered faster. Say hi. Okay. Which is an encouragement to say hi in the chat. Anyone who happens to swing by this early in the morning. And we launched on Twitch today. So that's the last announcement, which is pretty exciting. I think it's once we had everything stable on yesterday, it's an easy layup. Not so much complexity emerges from launching on Twitch as well, to broadcast to both places at once. And so we decided I'm testing it out. We'll see how the quality comes out, everything like that. See how the combined stream performs. But it's episode 02. We are learning still every single episode. So always expect some changes, but also familiar faces, familiar people in the chat, familiar sounds, familiar tunes, etc. So launched on Twitch, same broadcast, both places. Okay. So announcements were that the Step In E01 inspiring success. It really inspired me to really think about this big picture. That's what we were saying. Long, big picture, long term, 3, 5, 10 years. I love streaming. Okay. Between places, we talked about how the Outside In is a destination between where we've been and where we dream of going. And now how today is actually the first time we can really say that, because E01 is where we've been, and now we're finally on our way through there. This is sponsored by the Outside In community on Telegram. So there's a insider community where you can get the inside scoop and daily insights from me, 60-second voice notes. Check that out. It's in the description. And let's get into the next section, which is our agenda. Let's moving. I think I went a little slow through the announcements. I apologize I'm learning broadcasting. It really is a skill, and not breathing in the microphone too much, understanding what's going to be relevant is, and all these sorts of skills. I'm kind of enjoying it, and I think it's a skill that will only serve me. It can't hurt, of course, no matter what it is. So let's get into our agenda for the day. Okay, so this one we can number, although I think the bullet points are just prettier, low-key. So let's do the first one. Is we are going to do announcements. We did that. Announcements. How do I strike through and mark down? Let me see that. How to strike through and mark down. Wrap text with the squiggles. Okay, that's easy. Markdown is the format that we're typing in this Obsidian thing, which allows us to kind of format on the fly like this, and allows us to do some tech geeky things. Did that work? No? I think the dash kind of maybe killed it. Never mind. Announcements. We'll figure that out later. We did announcements. Then we're going to do a read through. / markup. Then we are going to do, put this here, right? Debrief cycles for E03. All right, so let's walk through these. So first we did the announcements. That's done. I wish I knew how to strike through. Format, strike through, easy. Oh, that's why, because I have that. Okay, I understand now what happened, why that wasn't working. Let me take a sip of water. So then we're gonna read through all the myths that we're at. I made some progress without you guys over the past week. Gonna catch y'all up. You don't have to follow too hard. You don't have to follow with everything. You're working alongside me. We're working together, and I'm just getting my ready done. You're working on yours, and I think there at points you'll find things A lot of these are mythological concepts that stand on their own. They don't need to be in context of exactly the story that we're working on. But we are working on a mythology for a fantasy world, 7 creation mythology. So there's 7 myths, and we've got, you'll see how many done. We've got like roughly 5 done. We'll read through them today, and we're gonna mark them up. We're gonna count the number of words based. I'm not sure I gave them the latest number of words based on different markings up. You'll see how we do it, and then we'll do some writing. So let's do it. A Mother, a 7-age creation mythology by E.I. Warner. We can say 7-age. We can say age 1. A Mother, a 7-age creation mythology by E.I. Warner. Age 1, a dark, a one and only, all one, alone, still, a dark, a one and only, all one, alone, still, a dark, a one and only, all one, alone, still, a dark. Okay, so that's myth 1 we've got here. What we're talking about is the singularity before creation, right? So it's called the dark. It's like a singularity, a darkness. It's a one and only. It's all one. There's the stillness, and we created you definitely want that one to end. It's just relentless repetition, and that's what this is. It's about undifferentiated darkness. It's about the void before beginning, the yawning gap. And so what we have here is our first myth, and we're going to keep cruising. Let me just double check the number of words. This one I feel like is very clean. I'm not marking it up at all. You're going to see as we get later on, there's going to be more markups. Let me get a word counter up on the side. You can get a sense. I think it's important to count words. Give yourself a sense of how, okay, so it's 36, not 34. That's why we're double checking. And let's keep cooking. So age 2, let's bring this in here. And we don't need this, and we don't need that, and we do need this. Okay. H2 alive, but yeah, 1 second. Let me just take a brief break, 30 seconds, and we'll jump right in. All right, you guys ready for H2? So we did age 1, a dark. Now we have H2, a light. So remember, we had this unrelenting darkness. Now we're going to have like an abrupt ending to that, okay? H2, a light by E.I. Warner. At once, I am a light, lightest of all lights, epicenter itself. I come from a dark. My form is white, only white. I am a light. A light is beauty. I love to be, I love to become every light, all lights. A light severs 1 to 2. A light severs before to after. A light severs a dark to a darkness. A darkness yearns, Darkness yearns to be a one and only. And darkness yearns to become a darker, a darkest, a dark. Looks like we might have someone in the chat. Hey, let me zoom in actually to make sure I can actually see that. Jesse Matthew, great morning to follow your dreams. I couldn't agree more, Jesse. And I hope that chat came in pretty quickly. You could test it again. I improved it a bunch, and I'm really glad to have you here. I've been solo. We've been cruising. Let me just update you. You are my closest partner in riding this morning, so I'll just give you an update on what we talked about very fast. So we did announcements where we talked about how big of a success Outside Inn E02 was, especially when we're thinking big picture. And the real reason is I love streaming. I love talking to you guys. Like, this is just such a highlight for me. I love it, which makes me think hopeful that it's sustainable and could be a really promising thing for all of us if it's pure like that. Between Places. So that's the name today, Between Places. And we've talked about this, how the Outside Inn is a destination between where we've been and where we dream of going. And today, this episode is the first time we can really say we are past where we've been and we're on our way towards where we're trying to go, because it's E01 is where we've been. So we started, we've crossed the threshold, and now we're in the middle of it. And I did say that we are going for 52 episodes to get to July 7th, 2027, where I'm going to host an IRL banger. Not sure what it is, but the only thing I can't control is is 52 streams and just doing the best I can every day. And that is what we're going to do. And we're going to throw a banger there. And we talked about how this is sponsored by our Outside Inn community on Telegram. You already know about that. You are one of the sponsors. So thank you so much for your support. And today is also an exciting day because we launched on Twitch. So there could be some Twitch viewers swinging by. It's not fully optimized, but it is live, ready for clips, ready for engagement, ready to always continue emerging and evolving together. So then we talked about our agenda, and I'll be sure to let me use my keyboard more than the mouse so we get our clicks, so we get our almost ASMR here for both of us. We had our announcements. We just did that. We're going to read through and mark up our myths. I'll show you. I made a lot of progress since the other day, and you'll see how I mark this up. And I think this strategy is going to be extraordinarily helpful for you, and I can show you exactly how I do it, and I actually will today. So you just have to sit around, just keep it on passively, and just see how I mark up my writing when I get it to this level of a draft. I think you're almost there. We can talk about exactly where you are and if there's anything else you want to say. So then we're going to write, then we're going to debrief, and we're going to set goals for the next episode, okay? So we talked about how I'm writing a mythology for a fantasy world. You don't need to follow along every single thing. There's going to be little parts of these are little myth themes, little things you can take out that have to do with all mythologies and all religions. And so, but if you can follow along, we are creating a 7-age creation mythology. So there's 7 myths. They're short. They're these little epic poems. And our comps are, we're looking for like a Dante, Dante's Inferno, or as a sort of comp, or a Beowulf. You know, we're going for like a sort of epic poem vibe. And this is the story of Earth's emergence and kind of the story of good and evil and how life comes to be, over 7 myths, and we're pretty far. You'll see how far we've come. So Age 1 of Dark, we read it out loud. This is good. We're not making a single change to this. This is clean. We wrote it last week together, and I feel clean about it. We did it together. I read it out loud numerous times, the first one we did. So I'm actually not marking that one up at all. We just read a light, and now I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to show you how I mark it up. So we had a singularity. We had undifferentiated nothingness. We had darkness. And then we start this one off at once. I am a light, lightest of all lights, epicenity itself. I come from a dark. My form is white, only white. I am a light is beauty. So this line I'm considering removing, and I'll show you that we have to move fast because this is just a fast read. We want to try to get to our writing today. Because it's maybe, I'm going to keep it in. I make it yellow. If it's orange, if I really need to change it, if I know at least the language needs to change. Red if structurally something's off. This is just whether I keep this. The reason why maybe not lightest of all lights, I may not want to keep it just if you want to hear the thing abstract. It's like there really is no other lights here. Yeah. So it just doesn't feel 100% correct. And it also isn't really moving the story forward that much. I think obscenity itself loses a little bit of the emphasis if lightest of all lights is the emphasis. So considering that poetically, we'll move on. Obscenity itself, clean. I come from a dark, clean. My form is white, only white, clean. I am a light. A light is beauty, clean. I love to be, I love to become. Every light, all lights, all this is clean. So we're saying that this light declares itself. It has a nature, which is to love to be, to love to become, and it has an end game, which is every light, all lights. Okay. We talked last week about severance. A light severs. We talked about how the beginning of creation, when it comes to mythology, is so often associated with severance, based on a comment from Adam Eli. Shout out Adam Eli, great insider. And we talked about how the first thing that is usually separated is light and dark. And so we are following in the common vein of that being the first severance, the first distinction. But there is another distinction that comes after that, which is like the sky and the earth. And we talked about how if the beginning is undifferentiated darkness, everything is the same, nothing changes. It's just that relentless poem that we had up here, where it's just the same thing 3 times in a row, nothing changes. Ultimately, you get a severance really helps us distinguish this is that, this is this. And that's a huge part of creation, is giving things distinct identities and naming them, declaring them. So let's continue. We don't want to go too off on that, but we do like to talk about mythology. When I'm using things that are not mine, like that's not me. Like I'm just I pull things in, I stitch things in. And we've used this terminology before, we'll use it again. Either we're stitching together a grotesque amalgamation of all these mythological themes, or we're creating stitching a beautiful tapestry, an illuminating tapestry that helps cloak the myths, ancient stories, in something that makes us able to read all of them a little bit better. Man takes us to another destination. So light severs a dark to a darkness. So a light severs, so we talked a light severs 1 to 2. So in this case, we're talking about singularity to duality. That's clean. A light severs before to after. We're talking about time. So when it comes to time, obviously, if nothing changed beforehand, there's the first point of change, everything before and after, right? So this is the invention of time as well. And then it says a light severs a dark to a darkness. So we said that if in the first myth, a dark is the singularity, it's the only one. Once it's a duality, it becomes slightly less dark. It becomes a darkness, okay? And so it severs a dark to a darkness. And we could consider saying a darkness any light, but I don't think that's for today. I don't think that's actually right. I think it's implied because the light is still there. Okay. So a darkness yearns. So a darkness not happy about being downgraded from a dark. So he yearned, a darkness yearns to be a one and only, which we get back from that, a dark. Darkness yearns to become a darker, a dark is to dark. Okay, so a darkness devours a light, a darkness darkens, darkness devours beauty, a darker, a darkest, darkness devours a seed, a dark, a one and only, a one alone, still. Let's put a yellow still. Let's put a yellow on this still here. And the reason being that, like, we're going to have to make a choice at some point. How all these end. Do they end on still? Do they end on a dark? And we're going to need to make them all in context of each other. So I'm talking about another ending like this one, like a dark, like I could end that. I could go here, right? Break the symmetry. So we just need to, the reason why I'm highlighting it is I just want to make sure that every decision I'm making is at least aware of all the other ones. I don't want to make them without awareness of how I'm using the stillness in other situations. You'll find that you need to, like, if a reader can't tell exactly what's not consistent, but if it's inconsistent, it's going to jumble their brain and make it almost impossible to read. It really will. You guys should also notice improvement in my audio, I should be able to move around a little bit more without such a big effect. The clickety-clack keyboard should be a little even clearer. I want to take a sip of water and coffee. I just want to shout out Jesse, waking up early, pursuing his dreams. I hope you're pursuing your project. Listen, you can kind of tune me out a little bit. I'd rather you be writing on yours. You get bonus points if you're just writing along kind of with me and tuning in when it seems potentially relevant. And I'm also curious to hear what that kind of experience is like, writing alongside me in this way. So feedback very encouraged. So we are moving on to myth 3 here. Give me a second. We're taking just a brief breather between the breaks, but we're going until I have a job. I'm good. These Tuesday streams are going to be long. Okay, we're gonna get into it. I don't have a job. I am going to start looking for a job, but I am at least going to be on Tuesday. You know, that's our day. Let's do it right. Let's do as much as we can. We don't make excuses. Let's just get it. Nothing gets done on it. How quickly it gets done is based on how many hours I sit in the chair and fucking write it, you know? So let's do it. I've been really full sending on social media. Just throwing shit at the wall, kind of testing things. I'm going to send some stuff to an editor and start working with someone. I need help, but I'm having fun with it a little bit. I have to say, I'm having a little fun with it. Like, why not? Be over enthused, be over stoked, be like, just get in people's face, just take it. The truth is, all these things are just as passionate. It's all real. This is how passionate I actually am about these things. So let's get into H3. All right. H3, a sun. I think we don't need that, nor this if it's a header, I don't think. I feel like we could probably, let's see how this looks. It matters how it looks on the page, fam. It's poetry, come on. Every book matters. How it looks on the page. Your font matters. Your cover matters. Everything matters. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. So we end this one. A black hole devoured everything into a seed. And we're kind of back into that loop that we hate being in, which is a dark, a one, and only a one alone. Still, you know, I read it slow and it's kind of agonizing. That's kind of the point. So then we get to H3 of sun. Okay, so a dark, a one, and only a one alone. Still. H3, a sun by E.I. Werner. Still, a light loves to be, a light loves to become. At last, a seed shatters, a sun shines. I am a sun, lightest of every light, epicenity itself. I come from a seed. My form is gold, only gold. I am a sun. A sun is beauty. A sun shivers. A sun shivers against a cold abyss. The darkness yearns. A darkness yearns to devour it. A sun shines. I die to bestow 6 children. 6 children to behold, beheld. I died to become a dying sun, its children. Beheld, a darkness cannot claim us. So Jesse, if you're here, I read it through and now I'm going through it again, like not reading it properly, but I'm marking up the shit that I didn't like. So still A light loves, a light loves. This is all good. At last, seed shatters. Sunshine. The question is, do we need the sunshine's comma, right? So we can mark this as yellow. It's potentially optional, and we could just go a seed shatters and have it be clear that the shattering is causing the volume, causing the declaration. So let's give this a little highlight. Let's give it a yellow. You'll see we'll get some oranges the later we go, my friend. Don't worry. We'll get some reds too. I am a sun, lightest of every light. This is the same line, the similar, this is the adjacent line that we are considering removing from all of them. So we are going to highlight that one as well. Obscenity itself is clean. I come from a seed. That's exactly where you come from. My form is gold, only gold confirmed. I am a sun. A sun is beauty. So this next part, really what we're trying to get to is like a sun comes out, he gets cold. A sun shivers against the cold abyss. And he recognizes that, not he, but it can be difficult. A sun recognizes that if a light was consumed by a darkness, oh, we got another chat from Jesse here. Orangey glad we're getting some orange. Orange, I'm glad I'm getting some orange. So I hope you're crushing it out there, Jesse. I hope you're writing well today. I hope you can get into the flow. I hope me being here helps you get in the flow. I want to support you. I don't want to get in your way. I want to be a furnace. I'm a furnace, and I want you bring us all up. I want us to go. Let's go. You know. I think this whole thing can get a yellow. I think that we'll review it. I die. We'll review it on another read. A sun shines. I die. I am dying. I think you just say I am dying instead of I die. It just feels too final. I feel like it's looking a little bit confusing. We're saying that so sun realizes that a darkness is going to try to swallow it, and it realizes this thing at the end. Beheld, the darkness cannot claim us. So it creates children's, but in order to do that, it has to sacrifice of itself. So I am dying. I am dying to bestow. Six children's. You're not supposed to really be editing in here, but it's already unclear, and I'm trying to even explain it to you, and that's what this is for. So fuck it, we're here, we're writing, okay? There are rules and you break them. Okay, sun shines. I'm dying to bestow six children to beheld, so they need to be seen, see and be seen. We're talking about a tree falling in the woods. I am dying to become. That's a pretty powerful thing to say. I am dying to become a dying sun, its children. Beheld, the darkness cannot claim us. So that's all clean. I am dying to bestow six children to beheld. I am dying to become a dying sun, its children. Beheld, a darkness cannot claim us. Pretty clean. Jesse, how are you doing? If you're locked in, ignore me, but let me know if you are having a decent morning, how much time you've got, what you're working on today. We're both up here, you know, we're here, we're awake. While the world slumbers, we write. And hydrate. And I'm hoping this helps you see, so you see how I use highlighting. We'll get to some oranges and reds soon. You can see how we try to read through quickly to see how much to see all the changes in relation with each other, so that you don't waste work, you know. So that's all clean. Let's keep cruising. Actually, we need to do word counts on these guys. Sorry. We need the latest words. So let me get this one. Word counter. 131. One less. One less. Like the quick read through so you don't waste time. Yeah, it's really clutch. I really think if you're gonna read, you can waste your whole writing set. You can get lost on like just a sentence and finagling on the first read and like lose all your momentum for the writing sesh. So if you're starting your writing sesh with a read back, which I don't always recommend, I thought I want to update everyone and I want to show you marking up. But you definitely want to read through quickly because some of the changes you want to make at the end could inform the earlier ones. So you just kind of want to see it all. We've talked a lot about this, getting to the end to see kind of the whole thing. So we got that word count. Let me get the next word count. These are really short, and I can't tell if that's a strength or a weakness. The truth of the matter is that by the end of my last novel, I got radically minimalistic. All my chapters were like 2 pages, less than 2 pages. And I called it radically minimalistic, and it was and is. But I did get some feedback that it was a little jarring and moved too fast and almost too muscular, too sinewy. So that's real feedback to, this is more poetic than that, but that was more muscular, but obviously lots of metaphor rich, rhythm rich, but we're going to have to test it. We're going to have to read it out loud and see how we're at, but we're pretty close. You'll see by the end of this session, like, because we're going to kind of full send for the next couple hours here. We're pretty close to releasing the first myth. And the issue is I have too many myths in my brains that I've written, like that kind of the way that I see the world explained in the stories of symbols. But I needed to just release something. I got to get something out there. I got to show you guys what a myth looks like. 7 pieces to make one story. I want to get in poem format. I want to get in song format, and I want to get some hieroglyphics cooking. And I already have a lot of the bases for all. For those in the outside in Telegram chat, for anyone here, we got a good poem for the insight for tomorrow. I'm looking for things that are more fun to read and more fun to hear. I'm looking for a little more theatrical opportunities, more dialogue than just quotes. So that's going to be evolving. I'm evolving, you're evolving, we're all evolving. But for anyone who this isn't enough, if anybody's even in here, there's more in the outside in Telegram community. Absolutely incredibly supportive community built around this stream, but all of us pursuing our dreams kind of together and encouraging each other to recognize small wins, to set big goals. And I wake up early just on Tuesdays. I feel like the goal, I set it low for myself even. I was like, I can do 52 streams in a year. I can wake up early on Tuesdays and I can do this. And I feel like to the best of your ability, because y'all can follow along with me and we can do this together, man. Like, That's why this is called Between Places. It's like, this is early, wherever you are in your journey, I'm sure. And I know Jesse is like there's a long road ahead, for the stream, for my books, for my mythology, for everything. But we're here. We're on the road. We're taking steps today, steps forward. And it's astonishing. I've worked on these projects for years now, like how the work adds up. Like you get there, it doesn't go on forever. If you are clever and you hold yourself accountable, like it doesn't go on forever. Like you can finish a book. It's wholly possible. One interesting note, just like as a fun aside, my dad started writing a book with AI. I taught him how to use AI, and he's off to the races. And he loves Pride and Prejudice, so he's writing like a fanfic of Pride and Prejudice. I'm going to help him out. I think I'm going to offer some. I think it'll be a nice project for us to work on together. I haven't told him that yet, but I've been helping him with the AI side. But I think I'll reread Pride and Prejudice and offer my skills. My dad is so excited about it, and I want to encourage him. When people get excited about writing, I think writers can be so pretentious, including me. But when someone in person tells me they want to be a writer, like I'm always so encouraging. Even though I suffer from the same thing as other writers, where like when I hear about some other writer, I immediately can trivialize it. But when I meet someone, I really just can believe in people, Jesse Matthew says that's so sweet. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. I'm glad you're here. I really am glad you're here with me. It's just you and me, and it's way different to have just you here than to be alone. It really is. So thank you. It really means a lot. I remember things like this. Okay, let's do a reading. H4, let's keep cruising. H4, A Daughter by E.I. Werner. She shivers. She shivers against a cold abyss. That's how I want to read it. She shivers against a cold abyss. You see that? Again, a cold abyss. A darkness yearns. All right, let me not interrupt myself. Age 4, A Daughter by E.I. Werner. She shivers. She shivers against a cold abyss. A darkness yearns. A darkness yearns to devour her. Its heat, its glow. Behold, child, I hold you. Behold, child, I behold you. She asks, who are you? Its heat, its glow. I am a dying sun, a light's first heat, epicentity itself. I come from a sun. My form is a dying sun, its children. We are more beautiful. She asks, who am I? You are a daughter, she herself. Your form is water's blue. For your heart, a diamond. A dying sun beholds itself glimmering in your sweet waters. A daughter dances around its heat, its glow. A daughter dances around, back where she began. There, a daughter beholds a dying sun. She is wrapped by awe. A dying sun is beauty. Then, a daughter beholds herself. She is wrapped by shame. She is merely beautiful. A daughter laments. A dying sun is epicentity itself. Me, merely me. A daughter is she herself. It's clunky. We'll come back. A dying sun is its heat, its glow. Me, merely me. A daughter is half shadow. A dying sun is dying. Me, merely me. A daughter is alive. She twirls, twirls. She twirls to flee her shadow. She twirls, twirls. A night, her cloak twirls after. She weeps, weeps. I wish I were more than she, more beautiful. I wish I were more than herself, more than alive. I wish I were without shadow. At once, clash, a day and a night, clash. Salt tears and sweet waters, clash. Its glimmer and her shame. At dawn and at dusk, her son and her son born. She, a mother. All right. Let's go through it. There's a lot that's good and there's a lot that's bad. So this is Earth, right? So a sun comes out of the black holes like shit. The darkness is going to swallow me all over again. What's the key? We need to be perceived, right? It's that same concept. A god dies if he's not worshipped. Like there needs to be a beholding. There's a perceiving element that's crucial towards rendering reality. And we then kick off with the daughter, where we're starting from her perspective, and her first perspective seems to be that she's shivering against a cold abyss, right? So the darkness is yearning to devour her, and then we have its heat, its glow, and I think this is unclear. So I think we may need an at once. Is it an at once? I wonder, like, I do feel like when I feel like a sun's energy is not an at once, it's kind of this persistent thing. That's why I've been moving away from at once for a dying sun. But we can say a dying sun. At least for clarity, this is fine, but this is where we go yellow. We don't want to go too deep in, but you can see how this is just not good. So there's too much going on here. All right, we'll come back. Okay, she asks, who are you? So a dying sun, so she's cold and the darkness is trying to swallow her. A dying sun, its heat, its glow, so she's feeling some warmth that we're going to create this sensory feeling of a dying sun thawing her, you know, like kind of like ameliorating that shivering. And the sun is going to say, behold, child, I hold you. Behold, child, I behold you. And that comes back to this idea of beheld, the darkness cannot claim us. And even here, he said, it said 6 children to behold and beheld, right? So this is a crucial part of our mythology. And Jesse says, wow, that was great, Evan. I missed the beginning, but I really enjoyed that. This is William Skorsky. William, thank you so much for joining from Antarctica, the literal goat, and truly the most loyal, one of the best friends I have in my entire world. OG. Jesse, just so you know who you're talking to, this is one of my dearest friends. We grew up on the bus together from kindergarten, and we sat next to each other every single day and talked about video games and life and stuff. We were in different social groups and different things, but we always gamed together and we always were close due to that connection. And you know, he's maybe the oldest friend that I have that isn't like a family friend. So Billy is also a geologist in Antarctica. This is his second stint. He does like 18-month stints. He's a brilliant geologist and really cares about the environment, and he just loves being out there. We get these incredible glacier pics. So to have someone from Antarctica, you know, no one has an excuse. What time is it for you, Billy? And also, you guys should notice the chat should be swifter. Chat should be swifter. I did optimize that based on some feedback from last time. So let me know how that. But then we're also simulcasting to Twitch today, so that on one hand, I decreased latency. On the other hand, I also increased a data step. But that data step I was testing before, it's like 0.9 to 1.1 seconds. So should be pretty fast. Should be pretty real, almost real time, not real time, but like a couple seconds. before you see it pop up on stream, so we can have that real engagement, that real conversation. But also let me know if that's not working. Okay, so we have Beheld the Darkness Cannot Claim Us. Here we're talking here. I'm not taking a full break. I'm just gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I just gotta pee. BRB. I'm back. I'm sorry I left right in the middle of the conversation. Let me see what the chat's cooking. When I drink caffeine early in the morning, I got to be so hot. Sally, it's a crazy, windy, snowy, blowy day, so no good glacier pics, but it's 9:02 here. Yeah, I wasn't asking to send one today, but thank you so much for being here, Billy. You mean a lot to me. It means a lot to me, and I'm gonna try to make you proud, best I can, make us all proud. Those of us who have been at this, we insiders for a long time. So, Dying Sun, it's heat, it's glow. We don't like that, but we're reading through fast. We're marking up, and then we're going to write. So we're just seeing what we have. We're reviewing everything. We'll do some quiet writing later, but first we're reading. And so she asked, "Who are you?" I think that's pretty good. We don't know who she is yet. We just get that's introduced. I like that it's a mystery because she doesn't know. She has to ask questions, and I really considered whether she asked "Who am I?" or she asked "Who are you?" first. But I do think that if you're afraid and something new comes to you, you would ask "Who are you?" first. That's the threat, the novel thing that you need information on. At least you have a sense of who you are, this alien entity. I thought you would ask "Who are you?" first. So I made that decision. And it's, in a lot of these texts, they kind of swap. So it's heat, it's glow. Again, we're throwing a yellow on how we introduce Sun speaking. We are going to highlight this yellow. So 9:02 p.m. So I now remember the question I asked you, Billy. 9:02. Okay, so that's actually kind of good time to tune in for me. So we can hang out maybe. That'd be great. You can keep me on. What do you like to do? Like, I know your internet's not like the best. I know when you're home, like you and I are gaming together a lot. Or I see you in Discord with some of your other third buddies. Can you tell us a little bit in the stream, including me, about what you would multitask? Like, okay, you're listening to me, let's say with your headphones in. What else might you do to kind of relax at an Antarctic base? Let us know here at the outside end. It's so cool that you're there, and it really shows the destination element of this, that it's between places, right? Between Antarctica and Nueva York. Okay, so I'm a Dying Sun, a Light's First Heat. This one we know is part of that same adjacent line that we are considering removing from all of them. So we'll add our highlight yellow there. Epicenter itself is good. I come from a sun. That's true. My form is a dying sun. A dying sun, its children. We are more beautiful. I think this line, there's some way to make it land. It's just not hitting hard enough. It has to hit harder. So it's not that it's bad. It's just that it could be better. Okay, moving. She asked, "Who am I?" So she first asked, she being Earth, guys. She being Earth, guys. She asks, "Who are you?" I am a heat, it's glow. I come from a dying sun. My form is a dying sun. The dying sun, its children. We are more beautiful. She asks, "Who am I?" So she asks, who am I? That's where we are. You are a daughter, she herself. Your form is water's blue. Is there anything else I want to say there? Water's blue is pretty fucking good. I want to make it clear it's earth. And I feel like if in 2 words, you get water's blue, it's about as earthy as you get. For your heart, a diamond. This becomes important later. We're laying the groundwork for something that we're going to use. So this diamond heart, keep an eye on it. All right. On Fridays, we have a 6-person D&D group based in a world that one of the people here has created 10 years ago. That's actually amazing. I love D&D. I need to get a group here in New York. So I'm going to post on Instagram, I think this week, looking for a group. I have a great group in LA and it became a huge passion of mine. So I just love it. I like having dinner. I like playing some games. I like doing some role play. Some people are really good with the accents and stuff and don't understand the gameplay. I understand the gameplay and remember the lore, but I'm pretty goofy with some of the accents and not the best with the role play, but have fun with it. So dying sun beholds itself glimmering in your sweet waters. So a son, she asks, who am I? And he's saying, you're a daughter, you're she herself, so you're feminine, your waters are blue, so you're like the earth. You have a diamond heart, pretty lit, kind of cool fact. The dying sun beholds itself glimmer. So here we're talking about in the beginning, God created the heavens of the earth, and the spirit of God hovered over the face of the water. And there's a lot of these in these early creation texts. There's this reflection of God before creation, kind of in the primordial chaos, in the primordial waters. So we are having that here by saying a dying sun beholds itself glimmering in your sweet waters. And if I was holding a ring, if I was holding a bell, what I would do is I would go glimmering, ring, 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 in your sweet waters. And I've been experimenting a lot with these. We'll see if they shake out into the final draft, but I've been experimenting with things where you go glimmering, or you go clashes, and it kind of connects the 2 lines with some inertia. I think it's cool. We'll see if it makes it into the final draft, but we're not that far from knowing that. Stay with me here, Tim. Just couple months here, we'll have something, we'll have pages in your hands, and we'll be trying to get our first little myth book thingy done. My parents need a link to the stream. 1 second, gotta send it to my mom's. Oh, we've got 3 people in here. Lovely, kind of lit. Okay, and then my mom will come. Will be 4. My mom's been amazing. Some people bought merch. Shout out Harrison Newman. Shout out Jonathan Crone. Shout out my mom buying merch at the EI Runner shop. There's more collections and stuff coming out. It's raw, but the products are good, and it just supports me if you want to. It's absolutely totally unnecessary. Okay. Let's see. So we have a dying sun beholds itself glimmering in your sweet waters. So we talked about the glimmer. We talked about how that's like the spirit of God hovering over the face of the waters. Now we're talking about a daughter dances around its heat, its glow. So this, I think we can yellow, but the dancing around, this is our solar orbit. Okay. So she's a planet, and she's dancing around the sun. That's where we get our solar orbit for. And remember, this is a cosmogonic myth, which means it's the creation of the cosmos, time, space, and the celestial bodies. So we do need to have those things actually be created. So we get our dying sun, and now we got our planets. And now we got our solar orbit here, and we're going to continue. The world will continue to emerge in complexity from, remember, its original state, which was an undifferentiated darkness. So let's continue. A daughter dances around back where she began. This is close, but it's not that good. We have no oranges yet, but this is close, but it's not there. Not there. We gotta highlight it. Gotta highlight there. A daughter beholds a dying sun. She is wrapped by awe. A dying sun is beauty. This is good for now. Like being wrapped by awe first, and then there she's wrapped by awe. Then She's wrapped by shame, if you can kind of see that. And so first she sees that the dying sun is beyond stunning, is beauty. But then she looks at herself and she's ashamed because she's only beautiful. And we start to see that a daughter is ashamed of all that she is not. And she's about to compare herself to a dying sun. Say hi if Mama Warner ends up ending. Welcome to the chat. I want to tell you something. So say hi if you end up in here, Mama Warner. Then a daughter beholds herself. She is wrapped by shame. She is merely beautiful. So her daughter laments. Okay, Diane Werner in the chat. Welcome. Step into the outside in. We were talking to Billy Skorsky, who you remember, dropping me off at the bus all those years ago. He has a Dungeons and Dragons group in Antarctica. And if he can get one in Antarctica, I can get one in New York City. So I'm committed to this week looking for a Dungeons and Dragons group. I think Billy's putting us all to shame in some ways by showing up to my stream from Antarctica and also finding a Dungeons and Dragons group. So welcome to the outside in. Step in, Mama. I'll give you just a quick update on what we've been up to today. So this is a writing stream, so I tried to kind of type out the notes like it's a meeting. So first we did our announcements. We talked about how awesome the first episode was. We talked about how this episode's called Between Places because we're between where we've been and where we want to go. So where we've been is episode 01. We crossed the threshold. And so we are now finally between places. And this is sponsored by my premium community. We're not plugging right now. And there've been some refinements, and we also launched on a new platform today. You don't have to know what that is. Don't worry about that. And our agendas, we're reading through everything that we're at. You'll see how close we're getting to the end, Mama. You'll get pretty excited. We're getting pretty close. You'll see where they are. What we're going to do is we're marking it up, and I've been showing there's some people writing in here how I read back and mark up with different colors. I read through kind of because I want to make all the changes in context with one another. So we're doing that read through markup right now. Then we're going to write, then we're going to debrief, and we're going to set goals for the next session. So, and if you look forward, if we look ahead, I think these morning sessions when I have a job will probably be a little tighter, but today I have a couple hours. I woke up early for this. I didn't sleep great, but I have we're going to write for a couple hours. So we're making moves, but we also have time to chat. And welcome, Diane Williams. Skorsky says, Billy, I love that you and Evan have stayed connected all these years. Yeah, I think it's a really beautiful thing. And I've commented on it a lot in this stream because I really do think it is a beautiful thing. And it's not to this is not to trivialize it. It's just to speak the truth is that Billy and I had something new to talk about every single day with video games. Didn't matter, because we were both playing, we were both passionate about it. And then when you're already talking about that, you end up talking about everything else. What you're doing, yada. And I never sat with anybody else on the bus until I started driving. I sat with Billy Skorsky on the bus every single day. So we're going to debrief at the end, see how we did on our goals, and we're going to set goals for the next episode. And on one hand, we're keeping really big picture. I love streaming, and that was a big thing we learned from the first one, is that I just loved it. It was super fun. So we're taking a big 3, 5, 10 year plan, but we also need to hold ourselves accountable to writing goals. More for me, at least, I need to, if I'm going to be leading this charge of having people pursue their goals, I need to set my goals and hit them. So by the end of today, I think definitely by the end of next episode, we'll have a very clear sense of where the project is and what our goals are for the end of the year. We are going to be releasing a myth by the end of the year. I was able to narrow the focus. I have so many myths in my brain. I have a really good selection of myths that really stand on their own, I think, as a very interesting body of work. And I'm getting it out. Whatever it is, you'll see. By the end of this, you'll see we are on our way. So that is that. Let me take some water. Okay. So and you can see these poems are not long, right? So there's 7 of them. because of the number 7. We obviously know with we woke up, we went live at 7:07 this morning, of course. So we did all these and we marked them up, and you can see the yellow means that it needs a revisit on language. When we get orange, it's going to mean it's a structural, it's known. Yellow means consider a change. Orange means you 100% need a change, and it could be structural. Red means this is absolute dog water. Okay. Dog water, don't worry about that, Mama. Don't have to understand it's bad. It's not good. Okay, so she asks, okay, so let's start with the daughter. Ma, you can follow along just from here. Don't worry about anything except for this. Okay, so a sun sacrifices of itself to create the planets. And so in order to create the planets, it had to sacrifice itself. And the reason it did that is because right before this, there's a light which had tried to exist, was swallowed by this black hole. And so a sun comes out after the black hole, it shatters the seed, etc. A sun comes out and it's looking for a way to avoid being swallowed by a darkness again. And the cheat code it got is something that you and I have spoken about often, which is, the beholding principle about rendering reality and how that's important. So you could see that a sun shines. I'm dying to bestow 6 children. So it requires dying to bestow, to create these children. 6 children to behold and be held. So it's a mutual perceiving. I am dying to become a dying sun, its children. Beheld, a darkness cannot claim us. So a sun becomes a dying sun and its children because of beheld, a darkness cannot claim us. And you can see how I'm trying to use poetics to, express complex quantum physics, which you are very aware of. You and I talk about these things. My mom and I actually talk about quantum physics. My mom actually understands quantum physics. She's very cool. So I think this is a line that you can really see the overlap between poetics and astrophysics, and for people to read in it as they wish. Okay, so let's get into a daughter. So that's where we ended. So a son died to create children, and the reason it did that is because it needs perceiving in order to be safe and things. So H4 a daughter, H4 a daughter by E.I. Werner. She shivers. Oh wait, I already did this one. Okay, we're going to the next one. Right by shame. Oh no, we were in the middle of this one. That's where we were. Okay. I was just updating my mom. Okay, yes. We're reading through the whole thing. Sorry, team. Okay, so she shivers. She shivers against a cold abyss. A darkness yearns. A darkness yearns to devour her. A dying sun, its heat, its glow. Beheld, child, I hold you. Behold, child, I behold you. She asks, she being Earth. Who are you? Its heat, its glow. I am a dying sun. Okay, I'm not going to read this whole thing back for you, Mom, because we already did. But what happens is the dying sun is Earth is born. She shivers. She's really cold. And at once, all of a sudden, she feels the heat and glow of the sun. And the sun says, "Behold, child, I hold you. Behold, child, I behold you." It's very comforting. And then the Earth asked, "Who are you?" And we decided that it was likely she would ask, "Who are you?" before "Who am I?" She's going to ask both, but she would ask, "Who are you?" because she's probably afraid. And we get an answer, which is saying, "I'm a dying sun. I come from," and we're awesome. Okay, so he gets an answer, "I'm a dying sun." Then she asks, "Who am I?" And we get a answer. "You are a daughter, she herself, so you're feminine. Your form is water's blue. For your heart, a diamond. A dying sun beholds itself glimmering in your sweet water." So your form is water's blue. So we're saying you're a daughter, so you're clearly a child of the sun. She herself, you're feminine versus epicentity itself, which we spoke about last week when you were here. Your form is water's blue. This is me trying to indicate that we're within Earth, that we're talking about Earth. For your heart, a diamond. This will become relevant soon. We're planting a seed for ourselves to use this heart later. A dying sun beholds itself glimmering in your sweet waters. This glimmer, Ma, and everyone else. We're talking about this glimmers to represent in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the water. Okay? We're talking about that reflection of the divine over the primordial deep. That's that glimmer where the divine sees itself reflected in us. A daughter dances around its heat, its glow. We talked about how this is a cosmogonic myth. So we're talking about the creation of the cosmos. Here is our solar orbit. Oh, we got a chat here. My mom said in understanding quantum physics is, I think, overstating it, but I am definitely fascinated by it. I love you, Mommy. You're the best. William Scorsese says, my mom sat in on quantum physics class during a parent weekend at my undergrad, and she said she didn't understand any of it, but it still brags to everyone about the experience. That's amazing. My mom, I'm sure that is a perfect story for my mom, and your mom deserves to brag to everyone that she was in that lecture. I agree. Shout out Mama Skorsky and her lecture. I'm proud of her for being in that lecture. So here we were talking about cosmogonic myth. So here we get our solar orbit. We're going to have her dancing around its heat, its glow, around the sun. A daughter dances around back where she begins. So once she completes one full orbit, we have two things that happen in sequence. Okay, there, a daughter beholds a dying sun. So she really, after one full orbit, you can really see something, and she becomes older, right? She ages. She beholds a dying sun. She really sees a dying sun, and she's wrapped by awe. So she's engulfed by attention, but it's a positive feeling to be wrapped most of the time. A dying sun is beauty. So she's wrapped by how beautiful a dying sun is. So there, she's wrapped by awe. Then a daughter beholds herself, and she is wrapped by shame. She is merely beautiful. So she's comparing herself against the dying sun, and she's feeling ashamed. Okay, so there she's wrapped by awe, then she's wrapped by shame, and now we're going into this next phase of the poem, and that is we left off. This is exactly where we were. I was updating you, but that's exactly where we were. I'm going to start bragging to my friends that I know how to log into Evan's stream. That's huge, Mom. I'm very proud of you, and I'm glad you are in my streams and that you support me and that you have encouraged me. And I love this, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm glad to be here. And I feel like this is something I can do while I have a job, like wake up early and write. That's something I've been doing my whole life. And I just turn it on. It doesn't feel like there's that much resistance to just turning it on and going. Like I'm already writing, I'm already doing it. And I like hanging out with y'all, even if it's just a few of us. So then a daughter beholds herself. She's wrapped by shame. Okay, so a daughter laments. This word is shit. Sorry, Ma. Let's put that as an orange. So here's a clear orange. This absolutely must be replaced. It's just not right. It's what she's saying is right. It just doesn't sound right. But what she's saying is a dying sun is epicentering itself. So she's declaring something a dying sun is. And in this poem, imagine it's a poem called like Me, Merely Me, or a song. She goes, a dying sun is this. And then she goes, me, merely me. And then she's only something. So she's comparing herself. And currently it doesn't sound good. I think we need to clean it up. Yeah, let's do it. Let's read it out loud because we need to make this a little bit better because it's cool. A daughter laments. A dying sun is epicentity itself. So dying sun is both and neither gender. Me, merely me. A daughter is she herself. I think we tried just going like this here. Me, merely me, she herself. A dying sun is its heat, its glow. This one, we've been talking the whole day about how we need to revisit these. Once we pick one, it'll be very easy. It'll be plug and play. But we need to discuss that first sense. There's a first sensory feeling that Earth is going to feel. So she's shivering. That's her first feeling. And there's this moment when a dying sun kind of glows upon her and she thaws almost. And her shivering is ameliorated. So we need to create that. And once we do, we'll plug that terminology in different places. So, and you can see it's highlighted in several places. So me, merely me, she, herself. That's good. I actually think this sounds nice. Dying sun is me, merely me, a daughter is half shadow. So she has a knight, right? So she's not stoked about having a knight. And so this one up here is going to obviously have to be indicating that she's glowing, right? That a dying sun is glowing and makes its own light, has no shadow. It's not half and half anything. It's only X. And the last one is a dying sun is dying. Me, merely me, a daughter is alive. I think we could just go alive. It's kind of hardcore. So we could say, let's read it out loud. A daughter laments. A dying sun is epicenity itself. Me, merely me. She, herself. A dying sun is its heat, its glow. Me, merely me. A daughter is half shadow. A dying sun is dying. Me, merely me. Alive. Why is she ashamed about a dying sun dying? She currently relies on a dying sun dying, and she's the only one that's alive. And that's a huge responsibility that she's currently not upholding, really, by doing anything about it. She's only kind of recognizing that responsibility now. So I think we can throw a yellow on this alive. Just make sure that that's what we want to do to make it really just hit alive and have people have to read the abstract meaning into it. It's not the most clear of all of these. Half shadow versus glowing. That's a pretty obvious thing. Either you're no gender or you're like have a gender. So this one is definitely the most abstract. But so we'll revisit it. We throw a yellow. She twirls, twirls. She twirls to flee her shadow. So here we're getting our horizontal axial orbit. Remember we talked about our solar orbit, which was dancing around a sun. Here we're getting our horizontal axial spin by getting her to twirl to flee her shadow. So she twirls to flee her shadow. Could probably be better, but it's not worth focusing on right now. She twirls a knight. Her cloak twirls after. So she's trying to escape her shadow by spinning around in a circle. That's where we're saying the horizontal axial spin comes in. It's actually as a consequence of her attempting to escape, to flee her shadow, her shame. And that shadow of her shame represents itself as a night, right? Where the sun can't get in, where it's dark. So she weeps. I wish I were more. So I think that's a pretty powerful thing for the earth to say. I think in this mythology, I know you can kind of tell by the first line of this stanza here that I wish I were more. So the earth is crying. She's crying. Have you ever heard women crying, And what does she say? I wish I were more. I wish I were more than she. I wish I were more beautiful. I wish I were more than herself, more than alive. I wish I were without shadow. So these are not exactly all the right order, but what we're trying to say here is that she does a full lap around the sun. She does a full lap. She builds a dying sun, is amazing. Behold, becomes ashamed of herself. She compares them to each other and becomes conscious that she has this shadow, this night that she's trying to escape. And it's futile to escape it. Her cloak twirls right after her. And now she's weeping. She's a crying woman. She weeps. I wish I were more. More than she. More beautiful. I think a lot of people can relate to that. I wish I were more. I think people can relate to that. More than herself. I think women can oftentimes relate to that. More than alive. This is not working for me, alive. It needs to be clear that she's kind of alone, alive. She's the only one right now because life is coming. She's not going to be the only one alive for long, fam. We have a chat. I'm going to start bragging to my friends that I know how to log into heaven streams. Okay, great. There's no new chats. Curious to watch back the stream on Twitch after this. I just put it up there. I was like, look, I have all the tech set up. I wanted to just launch on YouTube while I was figuring things out to decrease the complexity, but I had all the wires already kind of set up. So I just relaunch on Twitch today. It took me like probably an hour and a half of setup only to simulcast. Okay, so more than alive, we need a better word for that. I wish I were without Shadow. This is just the wrong order, but this is the idea. She doesn't want to have a night anymore. Okay, so this is the right idea. It's just not the right placement for that. At once, clash, a day and a night. Clash, salt tears and sweet waters. Clash, its glimmer and her shame. I like all this. We're saying that, so essentially, she's crying, and that creates salt, tears, right? And what happens is where at a day and a night clash, and salt tears and sweet waters clash, and the glimmering of a dying sun beholding itself in her waters clashes with her shame, her night, right? In that cosmic soup of collisions, that's where her two children are born, at dawn and at dusk. And now what I'm trying to show here, and there's so many ways to say it, but none of them are like the most clear on, and I think we may even want to work on it for a second now, is I want to make it clear that it's two different places at the same time, one at dawn and one at dusk, the opposite poles. So I don't think I've made that 100% clear here. And I do think we want to work on it. I don't think I'm going to even make it yellow. I think I'm just going to work on it right now for a hot sec, but this is all good. And then we're going to get into 5, a brother. You'll see. So then, so we go through that, and then we have 2 more team. And look how short these are. These are they get a little longer each, but we're close. We're on our way. We are on our way. Okay. I'm going to take a quick sip of this protein shake I made for myself in the fridge. I'll be back in 30 seconds. That was max 4 seconds. No, maybe 30. I don't know. Okay. So we were talking about this part that wasn't working. So do we do it here? Like then you lose the suddenness. So let's talk about this from a writing strategy perspective for anyone kind of curious. So when you have this, she's crying, she's weeping, right? Then you say at once. If I go into at place, at dawn and dusk to try to clarify this, I lose the clash, the at once clash suddenness, at once clash, right? We need that for the poetic reading and for just the poem. So this at place and place, but place and place is also vague, but it's kind of cool, but it is a little vague. Like I think we're talking about the poles here. We're talking about the poles. We're talking about the edges of the edge. Talking about the edges of the edge. Thanks so much for everyone just for swinging by, hanging out. It means a lot. I'm excited about what's to come and what's building, and I'm excited. At place, at dawn, at dusk. At once they clash. We could try this. Let's experiment here, right? We could say at once Okay, we would have to tidy this. It would be like this. Ah, this is clean. This is kind of fun. This could sound good. Let's try it. More than, I wish I were more than herself, more than alive. I wish I were without shadow. At once, clash, salt tears and sweet waters. No. At once, clash, salt tears and sweet waters. Two places. Clash, its glimmer and her shame. It does kind of work. I just need to read it better. At once, clash, salt tears and sweet waters. Two places. Twice two places? We could go... It's a little abstract for now, but that actually could be cool. But at once and twice, right? It could be cool, but let's do a placeholder word. Follow my own advice. And we'll go with a little yellow here. It's glimmer and her shame. We're just cleaning this up. You'll see it'll be cleaner. What we're trying to say is, look, there's this clash and it happens in two places on opposite poles. And we're trying to make it poetic. A pole and pole, clash, her son and her son. So there's two sons and one is born in each place. Her son and her son. Let's give it a whirl and then we'll move on. Can't get too stuck. See how you can get stuck on these readings. Okay, so at once, clash, salt tears and sweet waters. At pole and pole, clash, its glimmer and her shade. At dawn and at dusk. It's just better with a comma, but the and was helping me do both, so that it's two. We got a chat, I think. Edges have a great visual, Jesse Matthew. Yeah, edges of edges. I think we need edge. Try edge and edge. Sorry. Let's try that, Jesse. At edge and edge clash, its glimmer and her shame. At dawn and dusk. At dawn, at dusk. Her son born. So the issue is this, like you say, her son born. I'm trying to say at dawn, one son. At dusk, another son born. Not 100% sure that's clear, but we'll move on to the next story just because you'll see it much more clearly in there, what we're actually doing, and we'll come back to it. So we'll throw yellow. It's not a big deal, these yellows, guys. We're moving fast now on this narrower focus to release like to get moving. So let me take a sip of water and let's get into this newest myth. I haven't even debuted any of this for any of y'all yet. I was working on it off stream, but we'll get into it on stream a bit today. I want to get to at least mark up this one and see if we still have some juice. Maybe I'll do another unscheduled stream. That's good for testing tech stuff, the unscheduled streams, but I do need to be investing as much energy as I can in the writing, and also so many different logistical things for the streams. Next steps. Okay. And getting a job is on the docket. Okay, let's get a word count on this before we move. We've been counting words. Oh shit! Oh, the highlights. The highlights are pissing me off. I can go in this mode and it should be easier though. Command E, the non-writing mode. Yeah, that's fine. That works. There's a writing mode that makes it look like that, and then there's a reading mode. I got to use that toggle more. It's kind of me being dog shit and not the tool making a mistake there. Okay, how many words? I have a word counter open over here. $278. All right, so we are. Let's do some simple math. Oh, I got to go out of this mode now. Okay, let's do some simple math. How many words are we at? This next one's going to be longer because it's not only longer, but it also has two myths like as columns. So it's going to be significantly more words. But our first four myths are, let me do some quick math. So 278 words plus, what do we have here? 107. 107 plus 131 plus 36. So we have 562 words, which is very few. That's like on some pages, like just the page written out, not double spaced or anything. We are telling the entire story of the cosmos so far. We've told the story of the primordial void before the beginning. We talked about light self-emergence. We talked about darkness not liking that, and darkness wanting to be returned to singularity in a black hole form, swallowing all the light. We talked about how the end state of that was a seed. We talked about how that seed shattered and became the Big Bang. We talked about how emerging from that was a sun. We talked about how a sun realizes that in order to avoid being swallowed by the darkness, he needs to be whole and beheld, creates the planets. One of those planets is Earth. Earth. We've done all this in 500 words. Why I'm saying all that is we've done all of this in 500, right? And we're still going, right? Earth is a she. Earth is a daughter to a dying son. Earth has a diamond heart, right? So we learn a lot about a daughter, and Earth becomes ashamed and weeps. And as a result of her shame, life is created. And we have two brothers born that are going to be the core of this next myth. And we've only been done 500 words, and we already have the twin sons coming out. We have brothers coming. It's going to be a completely different kind of story. So we've covered a lot of ground, I think. I think we are using our words effectively to further the cosmos, right? To actually create things, to make collisions, to make for complexity to emerge, like the cosmos does. All right, this reading is going to be tough because it's raw, but what we are talking about here, so at the end in these cosmic soup at edge and edge, right? Like Jesse says, we have each son born at either pole on opposite side, right? And keep in mind, like on one side, one is born at dawn and one is born at dusk. So one is born where day turns to night, and one is born where night turns to day. Okay, and we may even want to make that clear. But let's continue with a brother. Okay, I got to turn off typewriter mode when I'm working in my columns here to show the two brothers side by side. And this is raw. We're working here, but we'll do a reading best I can through it, and then we'll mark it up. So we'll do one reading for Mama Warner if you're still here. That's what we were doing before you were here. We were reading and then marking up. You kind of came a little bit in the middle of that. So you'll get a proper reading here in just a second. Let me take a sip of coffee, set up. And okay. Age 5, a brother by E.I. Werner. He is born at dawn. He is born at dusk. So these are two brothers having parallel poems. I read one brother, then the other brother. You'll see. Okay. He is born at dawn. He is born at dusk. Him, her son. Him, her son. His figure, 2 eyes. His figure, 2 eyes. 2 eyes to see. 2 eyes to see. He is born at dawn. He is born at dusk. Her son opens 2 eyes. Her son opens 2 eyes. He sees a day. He sees a night. He sees a day. Okay, this has to go. It's not the right place for that. He sees not. He sees not. She is. He has a mother. She is. He has a mother. So he sees that she, the person speaking, then, is not, and he doesn't see that he has a mother or that she is a mother. Maybe a little too confusing. He sees not, he is, he has a brother, right? So he is a brother, but he also has a brother, right? So that's, I'm using that twice there. First, her pull, her breast. It's a version of at once, not good. We'll work on it. Her pull, her breast. Drink, my son. Drink of me. Let's read both sides. First, her pull, her breast. Drink, my son. Drink, my son. Drink of me. Drink of me. Drink my milk. Drink my milk. Drink of a mother. Drink of a mother. A mother transfigures her waters. A mother transfigures her waters to milk. Her son drinks. See, this is very raw. I was just working on it yesterday. We won't fix it now. He drinks. Her son drinks of his mother. Her son drinks of his mother's. Here's where things start to differentiate between them. This has not been a great reading, but you'll see. We'll get it down. A day's milk is warm. A night's milk is cold. So we're starting to see that these two brothers are born, but one is born on the precipice of night and the other is born on the precipice of day. And this fundamentally changes their entire realities and kind of tees up the rest of the conflict that we're going to be going through in these next couple in these next lines and myths, because she wants them to both drink, but a day's milk is warm and a night's milk is cold. Day's milk is thick and rich, a night's milk is thin and briny. Her son drinks and is nourished. Her son drinks and is famished. So you can see they're starting to have completely opposite experiences. It's similar to how the mother goes before to him. Similar to how Earth asks a son, a son asks a mother, her son asks his mother, who are you? So he asks, who are you first? And he hears this word will probably change. I am a mother, me merely she, me merely herself. I come from a dying sun, my form merely half shadow, for my heart a diamond. I behold myself, me merely beautiful. So she's giving this really negative sense of herself. You can see that she's still kind of sad and choked up about all the things that that happened in that last chapter, the comparisons. But she's still very interested in her son's drinking of her, it seems. Drink, my son, drink and become you yourself. He who beholds a dying son, he who beholds a dying son and knows no shame. So, drink, my son, drink and become you yourself, he who beholds a dying son and knows no shame. So she wants him to drink and grow and become who he's supposed to be so that he can stand before a dying son and know not the same shame that she did. Keep in mind that all this has been generated out of shame. Right? We're looking at shame as almost a generative action because she never would have spun. She never would have realized those things if not for the shame. And so ultimately life comes out of her shame, and it actually comes out of her desire to be more than what she is. And we think that might be a negative thing. It sounds, oh, you should just be contented with exactly what you are. But that sounds very much like the undifferentiated darkness we talked about at the very beginning of the very beginning of the stream, and it sounds kind of boring. And in addition to that, our son is going to die, like on Earth, and just generally speaking. And so this idea that Earth has some role to play because of her unique properties, I think she does have a responsibility. And I do think that her shame, anytime she's not kind of at least working, angling towards whatever that responsibility is to fulfill her role in the cosmos, no, this would be cool if I get rid of this. I'll read it again. A mother sings, you are her son, you are her son, he himself. You come from a mother. I think you come from a mother for both of these. Clash, salt tears and sweet waters, clash, its glimmer and her shame. We're saying that this is kind of how he was formed. It may be confusing that this clash may be happening right now, so we'll get a yellow on that once we walk through it again. Your form is two eyes to see, seek, see him, see yourself in my blue waters. So she's saying, this is all a little vague and not as clear as written as the ones before it because it's the most recent one and we're still working on it. But she's saying, you have two eyes, which the son asked, who am I? And she's explaining, your form is two eyes. You have two eyes to see. And she wants you to seek and see him. Him being himself, he who can stand before a dying son in her sweet waters. And she's telling him, look at yourself in my waters, okay? So the two sons are going to look, this is all badly written, but the two sons are going to look, and one is going to look in the waters during the daytime and actually be able to see a reflection. And he's going to think he's beautiful. He's going to think, wow, I'm amazing. But the other one's in the middle of the darkness and he can't see crap. And so he's going to look at it. His mother says, look at yourself. And so he's opening his eyes and he's trying to look at himself, and all he sees is a darkness and he hates himself. Okay. So the writing not clean there, we'll mark it up, but that's what that's all about. And at the end of this myth, what happens is that, when one of them realizes that he's beautiful and the other one realizes that he's a darkness, we have one of them, the good one, the one that was getting to drink all the good milk and has these extra resources, is able to take his two eyes and grow two more eyes to seek more goodness, right? And so he's transfigured by fortune, by the benefit of where he was born. However, on the flip side, the other brother is disfigured. His eyes, he splits his two eyes into four tongues. He's disfigured forever by his misfortune and he does this because he's seeking to flee away from the saltiest, coldest, darkest place. So he can't see anything anyway. His eyes are useless. And so at this point, they really, have completely different experiences and have completely different forms. And it's all based on the only reason is that one was born at dawn and one was born at dusk, complete chance and complete circumstance. So if later on you can start to see that this is kind of going to be the origin of good and evil, there's going to be a battle here, you could intimate that, you know, chance and circumstance have a huge amount to do with the origin of good and evil, because it was never fair. This guy was born at night and he never got to see himself looking nice. And so he's full of self-loathing and resentment. So this one is going to end where they're both, one of them is heading towards goodness, and the other one is heading towards away from badness, and then they're going to collide at the start of the next one. So I could tell you what the next two are. We can call this one, just so you can kind of see where we're going here. This one's going to be called Aspire, and this one's going to be age 6. And where the two brothers collide, there's like going to be a mountain between them, and they're going to grapple at the top. Okay. And we can go by E.I. Warner. We'll just show you the shape of how this document is going to end up looking. By E.I. Warner, and we can say XYZ words, and we can say age 7. Oops. Age 7. And this one is going to be called a sire. A sire. A sire. Okay. So let's mark this one up. He is born at dawn. He is born at dusk. I kind of like that. Him, her son. His figure, 2 eyes, 2 eyes. See, this is all okay for now for this first one. He's born at dawn. Her son opens 2 eyes. He sees a night. He sees a day. It's actually okay. This transition is weak. We need a yellow here. He has a mother. I keep it for now. If I can read it right, we'll see. Because it's kind of cool. He is and he has a brother. She is and he has a mother. Right, so we kind of have that double there. First, this is definitely wrong. This needs an orange. It's not first. It's not the first thing. But there's this sudden pull of like her gravity. Pulling is the gravity, and also just like the nature of a mother. Like, you know, people are drawn to their moms. And her breast and her desire for the child to drink. So we're going to go for we need an orange here. Why is it not giving me my color options? We had so many color options. Oh, because I'm probably doing too many at once. Yeah, that's it. Kind of looks just really similar, maybe. The orange and the yellow, they're looking a little similar, but okay. Her pull, her breast. I think this is also gonna need a yellow. Okay, drink my son. I like this poem. We're gonna figure out exactly where it goes and how long it is, but it's gonna have a nice incantation, and it's gonna be a nice like poem for mothers, maybe while they're breastfeeding, to speak to their children. Mother transfigures her waters. Not great. Not great. I don't even know if we need this step. I think it's kind of implied. If she says she has milk, I think she transfigured it. So, but I don't want to just assume that milk is invented. Like I do feel like we need to invent milk a little bit. There could be a line in here or something like this. I'll show you. We can always remove it. It could be something like I transfigure it does kind of go better up there, even though it's clunky where it was. This goes, let's say, it's shit, but we just put this here for now. We throw an orange. We have to do each one at once. Why is that? Come on. All right. I'm afraid to refresh. I know it'll work on a refresh, but I'm afraid with the stream and everything, it might tilt. But drink, my son. This goes. This goes. He drinks. I think it's got to be her son first here. Come on, her son drinks. Her son drinks of his mother. I don't know if we need to repeat. We can go drinks like this. In one sentence where we start the other, you know? I do think I need to try refreshing. Is there a refresh? Toggle. Shit. It's not working, you see? What if I did just this? Nope. Okay. Our highlighter plugin has failed us, unfortunately, fam. Just tried a couple things. I don't want to get too caught up in it. Let's not be blocked. Let's see what we can work on right now. I wanted to continue marking this up to the end, what I didn't like, but that was the plan. That was the plan. But what we can do, we can say, you could say something like this. I'm considering. I think it'll help people understand. I need to figure out the italics, but what I'm going to put in here is show what is created in every myth. So here we have, I think we can call it creates. We'll clean up the formatting, don't worry. This one creates. Let's not italicize here yet. Yo, there's something, I'm having some bugs with, like, that should be italicizing. Come on. Obsidian. So it's the first time I've ever had any issues like typing things in and having basic functions work, but we can work around it. Okay, create. All the formatting things are struggling right now. I'm not exactly sure why. Creates light. Black holes. So we could say creates light, black holes. A primordial atom. Maybe we use A. Let's see how it feels like a little more casual like this. Primordial atom. All these things matter, fam. For this phase, we're trying to... Okay, so those already have their A's. I guess this should be italicized too. Fuck it. Or maybe... Okay, that worked just right off the bat. Let's see if I can format. Is there underline? Maybe they reserve that for highlights, for hyperlinks. Okay. Light, black holes, a primordial atom. Okay, so then in this story, we create... We could say... a shattering. I think people will pick up on a big bang there. A sun. I don't want to get too abstract with like beholding and things for what it creates. I want to keep it a little more cosmogonic, like a little more physical. So we could say planets. And then we can say creates. Creates Earth. Solar orbit. Axial rotation. Life. For this one, creates, I guess, masculinity. This is the first one. Masculinity. Sight, is that cosmogonic? Neither of those are cosmogonic. Let's think about the cosmos. In this one, let's see. Milk, right? We could say, I guess day and night would be up here, but we already have a bunch up here, but this would create day and night. I think we can put it here. It's kind of in this similar vein. So sorry, I've got a work call. Good luck with your tech and your writing. Thanks, that Mama When I love you. Thanks for swinging by. Really appreciate you. 9 creates milk. I am going to just give Obsidian a quick restart here, team. I think it'll help us. So it'll look a little weird for a hot sec, but it shouldn't last too long. All right, let's see if this... it was just not registering some like very basic things for the colors, and that will help us. This is gonna need salt too. Okay. I guess we could just call it night up here. You'll see how this all comes together, team. Night. Okay. Which allows us to come down here and go right into milk. I could say sight, but that's... Yeah, for my heart of diamond. Diamond heart, so we could say... treasure... gemstone core, we could say. It's part of our mythology. It gets ripped out, but yeah, I guess we shouldn't put it in because it gets ripped out later, and these people are, and the gemstone core doesn't exist in the way that it does in this story today or in the rest. Shame drinking yourself, behold your shame. Too wise to see him, salt water, see myself, the cold, the agony. We could say figurement and disfigurement, but not really that much else created in this one. We really just get the different circumstances of the brothers. So, did we say brotherhood? I mean, I feel like that's not cosmogonic, so we could say milk, and we can say brine. It's like the opposite of milk. It's like salty and dog shit. All right, let's check back in with our... Oh, let's try our formatting. There was something I wanted to highlight. All right, let's say this one. Let's try it. If quick open and close worked. Did not work. Okay. We're giving up on that for today. No more highlights. No more highlights, fam. Sorry about that. Okay, let's check in on where we are. So this first one has no notes. Barely any notes on this first one. Sun shines, lightest of every light. Sun shivers. Let's go with this. These first ones are looking pretty good. It looks like we just need some word choice, and that once we pick some words that they'll kind of slot in around these different places. I think this one is complex, coming up with the comparison we want to do here, but it's not that long. We're okay. We're close here, team. The lament, yeah, the order is going to be fine. That's not for this draft. That's for the final draft, the draft after we get to the end. Yeah, this is going to take a little bit of work. This final bit, I think there's a perfect way to say it. there is a perfect way to say that the two suns are born on the edge and edge, at dawn and at dusk, at the different clashes, and I don't think I've nailed that yet. So that's going to take some work, and this is also going to take a bunch of work. But I think that we can set a goal for next time that this reading wasn't working, right? I wasn't able to read this. I'll practice on my own. I'll get you guys a nice reading of I'll clean it up, and I'll try to clean up as many of these markups. Kind of was wanting to show y'all the markup way I go about it. Even though the highlighter failed, I'll check in on that. But what I'm going to bring for you guys next time is this a way less clunky, way cleaner, and maybe, you know, reach goal, get into aspire. But you know, I want a version of each of them done, you know, within the month, for us to be workshopping together into their final form. So, you know, I want to get them all on the paper and workshop them into their final form together. But I'm gonna go get some breakfast. I'm a little hungry. I appreciate you all so much for swinging by. It was a solid Tuesday morning stream. We'll be live next Tuesday, maybe sometimes in between, but let's just clock in on next Tuesday, how we can wake up and pursue our dreams together. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and I bid you Godspeed and good fortune.